like this, talk like this, look like this, you could never. Bad red bone from the south, round hitting licks with a yellow.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to me down below and hit that bell icon so you know every time that I upload. And make sure you guys check out my last video. I talked about 5 ways on how to get over a breakup, and yeah, so definitely check that out. It's a good video. But in today's video, I'm introducing my son Preston Alexander. Say hey everybody. But yeah, I'm introducing my son, and also talking about what it's like being a young parent in today's society. You know, there's a lot of stigma that comes behind being a young Black single mother. You know, people just make it out to be such a negative experience, and you know, I kind of just disagree. Until you actually go through it yourself, you won't ever really know what it's like to be a single parent or anything like that. Single mom, single dad, whatever it is. You won't know what it's like until you actually go through it yourself. But I'm here to talk about how positive it's been for me and how much a blessing it actually has been. But yeah, so before we get into the video, like I said, make sure y'all subscribe and like, and let's get into the video. Okay, sorry if the lighting is a little different. It's been like an hour or so since the last clip because I had to put him to sleep because he was very cranky. I already recorded this and he was just crying throughout the whole thing. And when I went to edit it, it's super choppy. So I'm gonna try to record this in one go without too much editing because that was not it. But yeah, so I'm going to touch on some of the positives and some of the negatives about being a single young mom. Yeah, starting off with some of the positives, I would say like being able to be a young mom allows my parents, my mom and my dad, to enjoy their grandchild at a young age, which I simply love because, you know, had I waited till I was 30, I mean, my parents would be 50 and 60 years old, which is kind of late. Not saying that's late because that's not old, but you know, I'm glad that they're kind of young still, so that way they can enjoy growing up with him and have even more years to see him grow up, you know, go to his graduation, watch him get married, you know, all of that good stuff. So I'm glad that they're able to do that. And also my grandparents, I'm glad that he was able to meet them. So he's been able to meet his great grandparents, which is great because a lot of the times grandparents don't get to see great grandchildren grow up at all. So my grandpa had told me the other day how he was so happy that, you know, he's able to see a great grandchild and before he died. And I just thought like, wow, I never really thought about it like that. So I'm glad that, you know, I did have him now versus later, and that everyone has had a chance to meet him and stuff like that. So that is a good part of, that has been a good part of having him, you know, now. Also, he's taught me so much over the course of a year. You know, I was pregnant with him for 9 months, and then he's now almost 4 months, so it's been about a year. Well, it has been a year and some change, but he's taught me how to love. Our bond is so genuine and so pure. I know he's just a baby, but the love I have for him and the love I know he has for me as his mother is something like no one will understand unless you actually go through and have your own child. It's something, it can't really be explained. So I really love that part of being able to love something that I created, and you know, really just be able to have a long-term bond with someone and know that they're gonna love me forever, essentially. If you think about it, our bond is something I couldn't imagine being without. he is literally the light of my little life. So I'm really glad that he's here and that, you know, that I had him and everything. Another good thing that has come out of this is that he has really made me more responsible. Prior to having him, I used to play around a lot in life. I wouldn't be caring too much about what was going on around me. You know, beforehand, I was in college. I went to work, and after I went to school, was finished with work, I would go smoke weed with my friends. That was every single day. And I didn't do anything else. It's like I wasn't doing anything really productive with myself. So, you know, having him, of course, that made me stop smoking. I had to pick up new things to do because that was my pastime. That was something I enjoyed doing on a daily. So for me to stop the way I did, you know, I'm like, I gotta do something else with my life. I can't just sit here and, you know, smoke weed when he's born or anything like that, or be doing the stuff that I was doing prior to. I can't go out and party like I could before, you know, just stuff like that. He just really made me more of a responsible individual. Again, I even still kept working up to my pregnancy. I wanted to make sure I would be able to not have to work now that he's born, so that way I can spend as much time with him as possible. And that way, if I did need to get him something or buy him anything, I would be able to do that without asking everybody for help. Because that's the hardest thing for me to accept from people is help, or realize that I need help, because I feel like I need to do it all by myself. I don't need nobody to help me. I don't want to seem like I can't do it or I'm not capable of doing something. So that was the biggest thing there. So I do love the fact that I have this new sense of responsibility, because again, I'm taking care of a whole human being. This experience has been very eye-opening for me and a very positive one, and it's made me into a better person now. A better person, a wiser person. I make smarter decisions, all of that. I wouldn't do anything differently. If I had to do it all over again, I would still choose to have him. And yeah, he's the greatest baby on earth. He's always doing something new. He amazes me every single day. He's trying to learn some new trick or making new noises or whatever it is. He's always doing something. I love watching him grow. And I can't wait until he's older. Well, I can wait, but I can't wait to see him, you know. So I'm going to touch on some of the, I guess, bad or negative things that came with being a young mom. During my pregnancy, when I did finally announce that I was pregnant, I didn't announce until I was like halfway through the pregnancy at 20 weeks. People were very shocked, and they had a lot to say about me being pregnant, which I never understood, because it was just kind of like, why are you worried about what's going on inside of my body? You know, this was my choice at the end of the day. I mean, sure, I could have chose to not have him, but then there was the other choice where I feel like, you know, I made a decision. I did some dumb and reckless thing, and I need to, you know, accept the consequences that came with that. And, you know, ultimately that chose to have him. I just chose to have him. And again, I wouldn't do anything differently. I'm glad that he's here. I couldn't picture my life without him being here. It's honestly weird to think about, what if I never had him? Because I feel like this is making me into the person that I am. So yeah, so people are very just judgmental about it. You know, I got called out of my name, saying, you know, I was with a bunch of different guys and this, that, and that. And I'm just like, really? It only takes one time, which it did for me. One time only, of being dumb. And then look. So it's just like, this really could happen to anybody. And it happened to me. And I wasn't taking the necessary precautions, and that's what it is, and that's what it's gonna be. Can't take it back, can't undo it. So that's what it was. And it was just very hurtful that people were really, you know, coming for me. And I'm like, I'm the nicest person ever. I don't never talk about nobody. And if I do have an opinion about something, I would never put that out on social media and talk about that person. And I'm like, you didn't even have the balls to at me or say my name. Like, it was just shade was thrown at me so much, and I just did not get it. And it was from people who I thought I was cool with, or people who I thought were my friends. But I could see now they were never my friends from the beginning. I'm like, everything was fun and cool when I was partying and smoking, but now that I'm pregnant and I have a baby, it's like y'all act like I'm disabled and I can't do nothing no more. And I'm like, and y'all don't like me all of a sudden because I had a child. That doesn't change nothing about me as a person. But hey, what can you do? I let all of that hurt go. I'm not about to sit there and dwell on it. But yeah, so I did deal with a lot of that during my pregnancy, and even after my pregnancy. You know, I had to block and cut off a lot of people who probably weren't the best for me to be friends with anyways. And now I see them lurking on my social medias and trying to see what my son looked like, and, you know, just trying to find something negative or something to say about me or my child. And that is the most, I just don't get it. I really just can never. That's all I can say about that. I don't see how people just are so rude and mean about stuff that doesn't even involve them. Because last time I checked, you're not paying for my child, you're not buying my child nothing, you're not giving me no money, you're not paying my bills, you're not doing anything to help my child. So I really don't feel like anybody should have an opinion, because again, what are you doing for me? It just doesn't concern nobody but me and who I made my baby with. That's it. So I mean, I still deal with that. You know, people from my past still trying to follow me, still trying to see. I'm like, you're blocked. I don't want that negative energy. I don't want nobody wishing nothing bad on me, nothing on my child. So I'd rather just stay away from it all. So that is something that's really annoying, and something that you could go through with being a single young parent. You just gotta, you just can't take it too personal, because some people just don't want to see you do good or see you be great or anything like that. But again, everybody's always going to have their opinions, and they're entitled to that, but there's a way you go about having an opinion. But that's just my tea on that. I don't think there's anything else major. Everything else is kind of like little things. But yeah, that's the stigma behind being a young parent. Other than that, I love being a mom. I love being a mom to my son, my Preston. And again, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't trade him for the world. I'd do anything for him. He know that I got him always. So, but yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. If you are a single mom or dad or anything like that, times do get hard. Things do get hard, and just hang in there, because the end result of all of that is gonna be great. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you give me a big thumbs up, and I'll see y'all in my next video.